Please commence.
Thank you.
We are ReHose Solutions, and we're here to tell you about a waste issue you've never heard of, why it's important, and how our solution can return valuable resources back into the production loop. Landfill.
So sorry, can I interrupt? Could I get you to make sure your volume is up? It's a little quiet. We'll restart. Sorry to interrupt you.
Is that okay?
Apologies.
Apologies.
Much better. Terrific. Okay, please restart.
No worries.
Let's try again. We are ReHose Solutions. We're here to tell you about a waste issue you've never heard of, why it's important, and how our solution can return valuable resources back into the productive loop. Landfill is not a long-term solution for a sustainable society based on circular economy thinking. Globally, we are sending 2.12 billion tonnes of waste to landfill each year. And at the same time, using up our finite natural resources drive. Globally, we are using up 50 billion tonnes of natural resources that are extracted annually, especially sand. ReHose Solutions exist to address these two global challenges. We want to create a world where there is no landfill, and secondly, we want to protect our natural capital for future generations. We've also made a strategic decision to align our priorities to SDG 8, 9, 12, and 13. We believe these 4 goals are where we can contribute the most to solutions while growing our business in a sustainable way. How might we achieve these ambitious goals, you might ask? Well, luckily, we have a solution.
Well, the hydraulic hose industry may be invisible, and it may even be the first time you're hearing of the industry, but it's one that touches all our lives. It can be found on anything that moves, so much so that over 1 million metres of this stuff is made and used in Australia alone each year. Now, 1 million metres of a product that is engineered to be perishable means it all ends up in landfill at some stage. Manufacturing of this hose is also very wasteful, with both manufacturers and distributors each accounting for a 3% wastage factor. And that means 6% of this stuff goes straight to landfill globally each year without ever being used. And what's even more interesting is that no one is doing anything about it. Now, we plan on using this untapped resource, hydraulic hose waste, with established technology to create a truly novel business model. The current process is very linear. It's A to B and then straight to landfill. At ReHose, we want to be the link that creates this circle.
Our business will create value by returning hose waste into the manufacturing loop, reducing landfill, and protecting our natural capital by minimizing the use of virgin materials like sand, which is also a component of hydraulic hose. We'll do this by collecting the offcuts and used hose through reverse logistics and putting them through a thermo-vacuum recovery system, breaking it down to its useful, reusable components. This technology is an energy-effective process in which carbon-based feedstock, such as hose waste, is converted to energy and quality byproducts, such as carbon black, fuel oil, and syngas. The byproducts offer an untapped potential across multiple applications in the building and infrastructure industry. And the beauty of this system is the return of the hose components back into the manufacturing loop via a self-sustaining model. Now, a key part of our business model will be our strategic partnership with Novum Energy Australia. They are a global established leader that have been in Australia and around the world for over 8 years, with plants in Australia, Latin America, North America, Asia, and South Africa. TVR is a pro-energy technology, and it's a closed-loop system, so no emissions are released. Our products are of high quality, and we know that the TVR technology is superior to existing technologies such as pyrolysis, which is quite energy-intensive and also releases carbon emissions. There are also multi-level benefits as well, such as the opportunity to create exponential value in rubber and carbon-based waste, as well as delivering sustainable socio-economic upliftment of local communities and creating green jobs.
So, how do we access this waste? Well, that's easy. We align ourselves closely with those who deal with it all day, every day. People like myself from NZ and Hennepin. NZ is the largest, most established player in the Australian hydraulic hose industry, and being a franchise of Parker Hennepin Corporation, gives us unrivaled access to the world's largest manufacturer and distributor of hydraulic hose. And there's our link. With our partnership between Nguyen and Parker, ReHose is poised to connect those with access to the waste to those who can harness its potential. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks and speak firstly of our proof of concept. We're going to run our proof of concept in Nebo, near Mackay in North Queensland, as Novum Energy is establishing their northern operations there, and Parker already has a large presence in the area. Novum has agreed to allow us to set up our first ReHose Solutions hub alongside their operations, which will allow us to hit the ground running and create impact quickly and cost effectively. From there, we will set up our own containerized hub solution, of which the main feature is a large hose baling machine, which will prepare the waste in 1-ton bales to drive economies of scale for Novum. Novum's core business is in the processing of large tires, with agreements in place with blue chip mining companies in the area. The beauty of our solution is that it will complement, not impede on Novum's operations, with 3 tires and 1 bale of hose suiting Novum's operations perfectly. Agreements are in place between NZ and Parker, who will assist in utilising reverse logistics for us to efficiently receive this waste. The network has dozens of hose trucks in the area, delivering hose to various end users, but driving back empty. Our solution fixes this and also provides NZ with a unique market advantage as the first hose company in the world to be able to provide a fully integrated circular hose solution. Once our concept proves we can keep this valuable resource out of landfill and add it back into the productive loop through Novum, we will then move to our exciting pilot period. Now, this is where I personally am very excited. We're going to be piloting our concept in my hometown of Mount Isa. Alongside my family, I run Australia's largest NZ franchise, something I believe forms a key advantage of our submission. We are already in industry. We will set up shop in Mount Isa in much the same fashion as Nebo. However, Mount Isa is where we really kick it up a notch from a circular economy point of view. And this is the fact that Mount Isa is home to one of the world's largest copper mining and processing operations, a huge user of carbon black, which is one of the key outputs of Novum's TVR technology. By partnering with us, Mount Isa Mines could easily employ a closed loop system where the hose waste they generate is processed and reutilized in its second life as a substitute for coking coal, for example, biomass in their ANFO, and activated carbon for their filtration systems through its globally renowned processing operations. It is also important to note that Mount Isa does not currently have the capacity to dispose of hydraulic hose waste locally. Therefore, the current status quo requires companies to freight their waste to the closest landfill facility that will accept hydraulic hoses, which is all the way in Brisbane. This is a great opportunity for us to address a significant gap in the market. Pull that off and we've achieved our vision of providing a sustainable, cost-effective and circular solution to hydraulic hose waste. Now at this stage, we aim to be a cookie cutter solution in our commercialization, meaning we can remain fluid and grow and not just be where the waste is. We now want to be wherever the waste is. And I'll now dive into how we plan to scale across the regions that you see here. We will offer 3 different scale strategies to our global partners to take our concept one step further. Firstly, we have our on-site solutions. Our containerized model allows us to be wherever we need to be and would suit large-scale clientele such as mining operations, right there on-site. And you can't get closer to the waste than that. Then we have our manufacturing solutions, and this is where we are really excited. We can share with you today that we have global interest from Parker Hannifin to scale our model and utilize our services across their US manufacturing operations. The head of sustainability for Parker's global hose division spoke with us earlier this week about Parker's motivation to do something about the inevitable waste generated across their 12 factories. What's more, their passion for being an enabler of sustainable services and technologies represents a great fit for both of us. Now, that is a $15 billion Fortune 250 company reaching out to us wanting to collaborate. Very, very exciting, and they are watching the outcome of this competition very closely. Lastly, we have also explored the option to provide an emerging economy solution. Recent talks with Novum highlighted an opportunity to piggyback upon an expansion into New Caledonia. Whilst the market there may be small in size, it is big in impact. with the country currently having to export 100% of its waste. New Caledonia represents a captive market opportunity for us, and our model will align with the local government's push towards resource recovery over exports. So, a quick word on how ReHose promotes value across our supply chain and stakeholder groups. Firstly, I can personally speak to the fact that my own operations will see a direct and positive impact to my bottom line, for example, regarding a reduction in hose disposal costs. And this cost reduction is just as much as valuable to all end users of hose, who during these times are surely looking at ways in which operating costs can be reduced. If I could bring your attention to the government section of this model to show you something quite interesting. In a case of great timing, the House of Reps recently passed the Recycling and Waste Reduction Bill on Monday night. Our offering aligns with the government's vision and interests here, and we'll be watching how this progresses through the Senate. Another great addition is the fact that we will be introducing Novum to a stream of waste they currently do not have access to, which will increase economies of scale and impact for them also. And lastly, as confirmed by Parker Management, ReHose will assist toward corporate mandates towards finding better, more sustainable ways to do business. So there's real incentive to partner with us to achieve their own CSR goals. I'll now pass back to Winnie, who's going to run you through some risk mitigations.
Thanks, Darrin. So to ensure we achieve our business objectives and protect our strong financials, we have identified 3 key risk areas and mitigation strategies. A high risk for us is the loss of commitment from our key partners, Novum and Parker Hannifin. How we will mitigate this risk is to maintain our strong links with local and federal government, as well as industry partners who we are closely connected with. These relationships are vital to Novum's success in the waste recovery arena. Secondly, if Parker Hannifin are no longer a partner, the hydraulic hose industry is a global market with other competitors who we can offer this sustainable solution to. Now, the second risk we have identified are the directors in the business, so all 3 of us. Changes in direction, conflict, or loss of interest may lead to negative impacts on the operations of the business. Our strategy is to build and maintain organizational trust through leaning on the dynamic split equity model. Now, this model will allow us to determine exactly the right number of shares each director deserves based on the relative value of their individual contributions. The model will then be frequently reviewed to reflect on current contributions of each person. We will also leverage on the experience of our advisory board. Now, in saying that, you can't go wrong with the trust that we have built over the last 7 months of this journey, as well as the last few days that we've all been through. So you can be confident that all directors are invested and committed to this business. Now, thirdly, while we are first to market with this solution, we do understand that there will always be a new competitor or an existing competitor that would drive competition. We are confident that firstly, we know that we are the first to provide this solution to the industry. Existing competitors are taking the hydraulic hose waste and sending it directly to landfill. So our unique value proposition is the strength of our partnerships with Novum and with Parker Hannifin, but more importantly, we are offering a sustainable solution to manage this waste in a more effective, efficient, and affordable way. So what's in it for you? We see our solution benefiting multiple stakeholders across the federal and state government, as well as strategic alignment with Shell Ventures. At a federal level, ReHose would draw upon Australia's national waste policy to leverage on the early focus of rubber recycling, plus the export ban of plastics, glass, and tyres. We'll also contribute to Australia's target of 80% average resource recovery rate from all waste streams by 2030. From a Queensland lens, there is a political interest in the waste recovery arena. A federal member has expressed interest in ReHose Solutions as part of a Southeast Queensland residential tyre recycling hub opportunity that we can tap into. And finally, let ReHose Solutions help close your loop. We see an opportunity for Shell Ventures to not only be an investor, but also a collaborator. We believe that there is strong alignment with Shell's strategic objectives around responsible business, sustainable energy future, and contribution to society. We also recognize that Shell has a goal of getting to zero coalition by bringing together more than 90 companies to build a net zero emission ship. The beauty of our partnership, our model, and the TVR technology is that the byproducts that come from this process include fuel oil, syngas, carbon black, and recyclable steel. So we do see great synergy between both companies, and we believe that we can help accelerate this goal for Shell, as well as exploring opportunities in the research and development of marine biofuels and cleaner energy solutions with our byproducts. So now I'll pass over to Katie to discuss the financials.
Thanks, Winnie. So the important thing here is that we are not asking for a handout. ReHose is a genuine business opportunity which will also have a high sustainability impact. Our potential clients are now paying around $3,000 a tonne to dispose of waste like this. We can take it off their hands for $2,500. This price point will not only save our clients 17% off their waste management costs, but also represents a very healthy profit for ReHose Solutions. Once we've accounted for our operational costs, we'll be making around $200 a tonne. We've projected our revenue and expenses across the proof of concept and pilot phases and into commercialisation, and then we ran these figures through a best and worst case scenario model. To be honest, our base case was pretty conservative. We're quietly confident there's a very good chance that we'll hit targets in between the base and the best case from year 2. However, we've calculated the net present value at the base case at almost $730,000, and we've determined a valuation of the business at $1.5 million using a cash flow projection, or $1.2 million using EBIT. So utilising the seed funding in year 1 to hit the ground running, we expect a really strong return across the first 3 years and beyond, enabling ReHose to scale up quickly. And here's where a company like Shell Ventures can come in. We are looking for an equity investor to join us to inject that extra cash flow at the pilot phase in year 2 to boost ReHose into that commercialisation phase. So based on our cash flow projection of 1.5 mil, we'd be seeking an investment of $200,000 to secure a 13% stake in this very exciting business opportunity. But remember, it would not just be an investment in the model, this would be an investment in this incredible team, which has not only bonded really tightly over the ReHose vision, but has already built very strong relationships with industry and government stakeholders, and is good to go. So thanks for your time today. We hope that this presentation has whet your appetite. We are ReHose Solutions.
Recycling artisans, saving the world.
One hydraulic hose at a time.
And as you can see, we are dressed for success and we're ready to get stuck in. So it's over to you.
So who'd like to start? Maybe Paul starts.
Yeah, just I'll start at the end with the financial model.